Afternoon, sports investors. How are you doing today? Betting Public Sports Show. I'm your beloved host, Fame Rothstein, aka Michael Snackson, aka Bay O Wolf, aka you know all the goddamn AKAs. I gotta cut through that because I'm about to go in. All right. But before I do that, I need you to like and subscribe to this channel. All right. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Okay. Sign up for notifications. All right. But before you do subscribe, I just want to let you know this is normally a sports betting channel. What I usually do is give people advice on which games to pick for that day. You know, like we're going to do live on Thursday morning, about 10:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m. First day of the tournament, we'll be talking about that because, you know, the tournament, college basketball tournament, that's the best playoff in all of sports. You know, one game and you're out. And, you know, you got to win 6 to do it. And, you know, it's easy to pick the blue bloods, the Kansases, the Kentuckys, the blue bloods. North Carolina didn't make it, but Duke, you know, UCLA's, your Arizona's, the teams that are always good. The tournament is about finding, at least making money, sports betting wise. It's about finding that one team that's in the middle that gets hot. All right, and that's what we got to talk about Thursday. But before we do that, we're going to talk some shit. I got to talk real slick and greasy about a couple people today. First one, Michael Irvin. And this breaks my heart to do this because I'm going to tell you right now, my 5 favorite athletes of all time, Magic Johnson, Deion Sanders, Eric Davis, used to play for the Reds. I don't know, maybe Jordan, probably, I don't know. But definitely Michael Irvin's in that 5th spot. He's in that top 5 for me. And when he had the situation down at the Super Bowl this past Super Bowl, where a woman accused him of something, ESPN and NFL Network took him off their Super Bowl coverage. You know, he sued for $100 million for the Marriott Hotel. But every brother and his mama was riding for him. Like, yeah, Mike, you ain't do that shit. You know, ESPN should be ashamed of themselves and blah, blah, blah. Come to find out, he dropped the case. He dropped the case. You know why he dropped it? Because a report came out about what he allegedly said to the woman. I mean, the cheesiest shit ever. You got any black in you? You want some? Corny shit like that. It's like, Mike, all the trouble you've been in, first of all, you know you can't talk to random. This is not 1992, the Cowboys, where, you know, y'all on top of the world because you're winning Super Bowls. You can go say anything you want to a woman. Damn near. Back then, you know, this is a new time and era. You can't say that type of shit. And most people don't remember you as a Miami Hurricane or a Dallas Cowboy ball player. They remember you just being a jerk off, always in some trouble. You know, you can't do that, bruh. You know, I'm heartbroken for real because I was riding for you. Until I heard that yesterday, I was like, ooh. Like, you know, you've got to know at this point that you can't behave like that. But also, part of what Michael Irvin is, I don't know if how many of y'all caught this, but like maybe 2-3 weeks before that situation at the hotel, the Marriott Hotel, where he said that to that woman, he was on some nondescript podcast. I couldn't even tell you who the guys were. 2 white guys. And he supposedly, well, no, he didn't supposedly. I heard it with my own mouth, with my own ears. He said, you know, we're talking about, you know, escapades with women and whatnot. And he was like, you know, I can give you a couple stories on some blondes with me and Deion, talking about Coach Prime, you know, back in the day. And it was just like, you can't say like that. You definitely better not say that, talking about, you know, cavorting and you know, random hookups with white women like that. You know, hell, there was an OJ show on Netflix a couple years ago. OJ Simpson, about his situation and, about his women and whatnot. And you can tell that the cameraman, it was like his people was like doing some type of documentary. And you could tell they told him, like, hey, quit talking about, the white girls you date. Because he turned around like, oh, that's right. I'm not supposed to say white girls. He's in the front seat, cameras in the back. It was like shortly after he got released from prison in Nevada for the, for going to, get his shit that got stole. So, Michael Irvin, you've got to be smarter than that, bro. You've got to be smarter than that. I'm still riding with you. One of my favorite athletes of all time, but you done dropped that case. Now your career is probably over, your broadcast career. I don't know what you're going to do. You kind of let down Stephen A. Smith because I'm sure he stuck his neck out for you to get you on ESPN. And it's just heartbreaking, to see you go out like that. You got so drunk you didn't even know what you said because everybody you was saying you never said that to that woman. The people around you was saying you didn't. And now look at us. But main thing I want to talk about was Ciara and that gown that she wore to, what was that, New York Fashion Week, I believe. New York. I want to say it was New York Fashion Week. If I got the venue and the event wrong, I do apologize. But she's on the, in the picture in a some posing picture with her husband Russell Wilson, the Denver quarterback, and she's let's be honest, I don't know what the fuck she's wearing because she's wearing a see-through dress. She's basically naked. She's got a see-through dress on. I think she might have her nipples covered, but way too much boob. And she's got on a pair of panties or undergarments on the front, but in the back, it's bare ass. And it's like, this is a mid to late 30s, almost 40s mother of three dressing like this. I don't care if you are a celebrity, whatnot. At some point, this monkey ass shit's got to stop. Because Russell Wilson, put it like this, he's so conservative that when he played back for Seattle, when they got really good with him and, was winning Super Bowls, in the Super Bowl and whatnot, the Legion of Boom was saying, who was that? Richard Sherman and those guys. Who was it? Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, and I forgot who the other guy was. Brandon Browner or something like that. Something Browner. I think that was his name. They were saying that you were too corporate. You wasn't down with the brothers. You was, too corporate with the, with management and whatnot, which when you think about it, that's kind of how you want your quarterback to kind of be, he's the face of the organization, the quarterback. He's got to carry himself a little different than the rest of the team. We've seen that picture of his first wife, the white lady, she's excited that he's drafted and whatnot. He divorces her. Right as he started getting some money from Seattle. Okay. And, I think I want to say, if I remember right, that divorce, that woman got paid as based on him being paid, based on his new contract, even though he got divorced from her. So yeah, man. But Ciara, like, just that whole shit you're wearing. See, it's like this with Ciara. Because I also seen pictures of Savannah James, LeBron James's wife. Neckline's a little long, a little low, but other than that, very classic looking gown. And that's what if you go see the picture of Savannah James's wife, and then the old pictures of Ciara. When Ciara first of all, Ciara was on her way to being a baby mama. She's got a kid with one of the most toxic motherfuckers you've ever seen in your life. Future. The rapper Future. Dude makes good songs, I'll admit that. He doesn't rap the way I like to hear people rap, but he makes great songs. And but he's got a bunch of other kids by a bunch of other women. So she was, on her way to being toxic, baby mama number whatever. Then she met Russ. Then a little boy, the son that they have, he done gravitated to Russ a little bit. I always see Russell Wilson in the pictures with him. Even Jay-Z even rapped about them. What he say? Because he was talking about his own life with his situation, with Beyonce, because he was on the verge of a divorce. And he goes, "Yeah, I don't know what you would have done. Now other niggas is playing football with your son, and in the future, other niggas is playing football with your son." Classic Jay-Z type of lyrics. The future wouldn't do that wordplay. That's what I mean by the type of rapper. His wordplay ain't there. But I digress. So that's what Ciara was dealing with. Then, she's out of the limelight for a little while. I mean, she had some moderate success in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. Nothing to write home. I guess it is somewhat to write home about, but when the history of R&B is written, she might get a couple sentences. Maybe a whole paragraph. It won't be nothing significant. She's a low budget Beyonce. Low budget Diana Ross. She's, trust me, her R&B career, it's okay, but it's in the grand scheme of things, it ain't that much to write about. Let's just put it like that. And so her star was kind of fading anyway. Then somehow, I think this was a Hollywood hookup. The management teams hooked them up because it gives Russell Wilson a chance to, be with a black woman, kind of an urbanized black woman too. To lose some of that image of his being corporate and white and corny, because Russ is corny. Cool dude, good player, he's corny. And it also helps her. She gets a positive dad role model for her son, and she gets to shed that label of future. She gets to shed all of that from him, that she was dealing with him. So the matchup didn't. It seemed like a mesh that was a rich people mesh, for image sake and whatnot. It didn't really seem like they would really date if they actually met each other. Because I know some people that know her, and she allegedly just all she likes is thugs, tough guys and shit. So, back in the day in Atlanta when she was growing up. So that's that. But yeah, so, Russell with her, and he put 2 more kids in her. They just had one recently. And then at first, she was wearing the Savannah James type dress at the New York Fashion Week. Very elegant looking, classy. Maybe revealing, like I said, just like Savannah's low neckline, but nothing that you would be like, oh, you look disgusting, oh, you whore. It wouldn't be nothing like that. She was wearing, gowns. She looked very classy. Then just all of a sudden, I guess that repressed hood rat hoe in her just said, I can't be held back no more. You know what I'm saying? She's over in France, I believe, twerking with, what's her name? The thick girl from Houston. Damn. Megan Thee Stallion. She's out there twerking with her, a woman 10 years younger than her. They getting down to the flow. Then, all of a sudden, now you got this gown shit, that she's wearing, and all of a sudden, Russell Wilson is starting to suck. Come back to the mean. He looks like a first or second year. Last year, this past season that he just had, he looked like a first or second year quarterback who was trying to figure shit out. Now you're hearing stories about he tried to get Pete Carroll, the coach he won a Super Bowl with, Tried to get him fired in Seattle. It didn't work, so they basically traded him. And it's like, this ain't Russell Wilson. Now he's going to get Sean Payton back next year. Or not back, but he's getting Sean Payton next year. It's just like, what happened to Russ? I truly believe it's her. He was on his way to a Hall of Fame track. And now, she's back in her shit. Probably got, she probably realized I can't pop in Seattle. I can't get my music career back off in Seattle. Maybe you can get it better in Denver. I don't know. But don't be surprised if you hear in the next year or two that they're on their way to the divorce court. Russ just signed for $245 million. Ciara, you have 3 children, 2 by him. Very simple. Much like we said about Ayesha Curry a couple years ago when she was on, on social media talking about some, guys ain't, jumping in her DMs. She don't like that. I mean, even Tariq Nasheed, of all people, had to jump in on that one. Like, it's because we like Steph. We like Steph. Ain't nobody going to disrespect him. We like him. And just like we said about Ayesha Curry back then, like, she needs to readjust. Ciara, but we said this about Ayesha back then. Ciara needs to readjust her goals and expectations out of this marriage. Point blank. That's all. I don't want to hear none of this, none of that male, what do you call it? Male feminism stuff. None of that. No, honey. Your husband is worth $245 million, damn near $250 million, with his new contract. If I'm not mistaken, all of his is guaranteed. He makes more money. He's got more in his contract than you'll ever make, than you ever made. You need to readjust your goals and expectations. That's all. Nothing else. And your goals and expectations are not to be out there in public. I don't care if it's a fashion week or not. That scantily clad in front of people. That's all it is. He makes that much. I remember, now this ain't like Lee Majors and Farrah Fawcett. I remember hearing about when they got divorced. Lee Majors said, look, this house makes $55,000 a week. And you only make 5 of it, basically telling her to readjust some goals in her in the relationship. She didn't. She broke out from him. I'm pretty sure she did just as well, if not better, in Hollywood than he did. But at the same time, Ciara, you're not a slim blonde. You're not. I mean, you're slim, good looking, but you're almost 40. You've got 3 kids, and yeah, black women, okay, I'll let you have that. White women are going to get paid more than black women in Hollywood just on GP of racism. I get that. But that doesn't mean that, trust me, the Farrah Fawcett nor Lee Majors came nowhere near close to $245 million. And you've got that. Your job is to take those 3 kids you have, 2 of them being Russells, and prepare them to inherit $250 million to make sure that they're a proper mind, body, and soul to acquire that much money when the both of you die, and what to do with it. Somehow, remember Paris Hilton? She wasn't like that. Her parents, they didn't prepare her to inherit the Hilton hotel dynasty. Somehow, as she got older, she got a little better, a little more mature. You don't hear as much out of her anymore. No sex tapes and whatnot. Ayesha Curry, somebody got to her, set her down. She's behaving now. That's what you need to do, Ciara. Prepare those kids. That's your job. That is your job. I think the oldest one is 10. Future's son, Russell's stepson. I think he's about 10 or 11. Your job is to prepare those kids. Not just for the world, but to be $250 million. What to do with it. How to invest in it. what not to do, how not to embarrass yourself on social medias, things like that. That's your job, man. Not to go out there and show your ass at New York Fashion Week. If you see the picture of her and Russell on the thing together, Russell looks pissed. He does not look happy at all. Pardon me, I'm expectorating because I'm hyped. I'm really upset. Doing this type of shit, I see why there was a rule of thumb, back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is very despicable behavior of her. Some lady lawyer I know, here in the Republic of Cincinnati, she ain't a friend of men at all. She damn near misandrous to me, if I'm being honest, but, she ain't a friend of men at all in many aspects. And she even put on her page, Ciara, you need to decide if you want to be a hoe or a housewife. Do you understand? Aisha Curry did it. She decided she wanted to be a housewife. She still got her little aspirations a little bit, and and Steph, helps her fulfill those. You still get your aspirations off Ciara. Like I said, you'll never be Beyonce, but you can still do some little light shit. But for the most part, you have 3 children. You don't need to be out here. When you go, your son sees that when he's 16 or whenever he turns on social media and sees his mom half naked like that with his stepdad. Like I said, look at Russell's face. He's not happy. He was not with that. I don't care what nobody says. Miss me with the male feminism, dumb shit. Miss me with all that. He was not happy. He was not thrilled. You can just see he's taking plenty of poses. He knows he's supposed to smile and keep a smile all day. He couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is running a little long. We're coming up on 23 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. But don't forget, check me Thursday. Thursday, the March 16th, where we can do live, YouTube live on this channel. Do the brackets. We're going to fill out each bracket, all right? And from there, we'll be back to talk about it, all right? But until then, everybody stay safe, be well. Ciara, fix your shit. Get your shit together. You're no longer Ciara the songstress. This beat is not automatic anymore. You know what I'm saying? You got to sit down. You don't need to be showing off your goodies. Huh? Right? You can't be doing that. All right? So, but we'll be back to talk about it. But until then, everybody be well. Peace.